Oh, hello there. It's me again. This time, my topic that we're going to be speaking about tonight is the PARCC testing. This was requested by a friend of mine. The Partnership for Assessment of Readiness for College and Careers. It's been on TV a lot lately, and there's a lot of controversy over it, if you will. People are saying that it, pretty much makes no sense to have the students take it because the grade doesn't count. So I decided to do a little bit of digging. And what I found is if your child takes the test, the grade counts. In New Jersey, there's no opt-out provision, which means there is no paperwork that you can file to opt out. However, the president of the Board of Education has stated publicly that no child can be forced to take a test. So if you do have your child sit out for the test, it's up to the school to decide what they're going to do with the child. Most schools will allow the child to go to the library or just to sit down and study or do homework or assignments that they may have. Other schools have a sit and stare policy. They actually make your child sit and fucking stare while the children around him take the test, or her. More of a waste of time. They get your child coming and going with this test. They're taking away time from when they're supposed to be, gaining the raw knowledge that the teachers are teaching, and a lot of time is being wasted for prep for this test. Let alone the prep that they're going to have for the SAT or the PSAT. This test isn't a requirement for college as of right now. For 2015, 2016, and 2017, the grades will not be counted as a requirement to enter college. However, they will be collecting data on the children, 300 to 400 points of data that will be stored into a computer by a third party for further use. So when your child does apply to college, they're actually going to research this to see if there's a pattern with the child. It's absurd. That's an invasion of privacy, and I completely agree with the parents there. You're not going to log anything on my child, and my child's not going to be taking this test. Oddly enough, a lot of Republicans agree with my stance on this, or I agree with them. They don't know who the hell I am yet. But I'm surprised. I agree that it's the school's choice and it's the child's choice, a parent's choice, whether or not they should have to take the test. When they do get their test results, neither the student nor the teacher get told where the student's opportunity lies. Well, what's the fucking point? If I can't improve on what you're testing me for, if you're testing to see if testing needs to be a little bit more rigorous, well, then how do you make people better unless you let them know where their opportunities lie? And at that point, that very fact is what makes me believe that it's strictly about making money for the corporate fucking fat cats who make a fortune off of making the tests, creating the questions from the tests, and then analyzing children and analyzing teachers and just it's disgusting. How are you going to judge a teacher based on a test score? Studies have shown that a much better gauge on how a child should be looked at when applying for college is their body of work, their course grades, because you're talking about that's who they are on a larger scale. It's not just a test where they might have went in and had a bad day. It doesn't measure your child's readiness. So for now, I would say, have your children take an SAT or a PSAT. It's much better. For them to store data like that, and the data being stored, they've researched parents to see children who are growing up in homes that make $20,000 or less, and children who grow up in homes where the parents make $200,000 or more, or have graduated college, and there's a 400-point swing in this in SAT scores. So they already know where the problems lie. They know where the problems lie, but they don't want to admit it. So this test is just smoke and fucking mirrors. Smoke and mirrors. They get your child coming and going. Your child loses whether they take the test or not. And I know that everybody's saying, oh, what about the stress level? What about the stress level? The children are stressed. Enough. We waste too much time in this country worrying about the stress level of children. I would say adolescents and older. Children, yes, little ones should not be stressed out by having to pass this test. But when you get into grades where, the children have cell phones and all they're fucking worried about is how many likes they got on Facebook or how many guys saw their tits on Instagram, or if one guy's package is cock and balls, what type of bulge is coming out of his underwear. How many people liked his picture or looked at his picture on Twitter or Instagram? I mean, give me a fucking break. And then they want to crybabies and said they want to complain when the shit becomes public and they say, I can't believe my picture's all over campus. They stress over things like that. But don't stress over their schoolwork. If more kids in this country, like our Japanese counterparts and our European counterparts, stressed over school instead of a lot of the trivial bullshit that goes on around this country, we'd be in a lot better shape. So PARCC spelled backwards is crap. And that's exactly what the test is. Unnecessary bullshit. Those are my thoughts.